everyone. Today we are going to do the module 2.2 and 2.3 about absolute value equations and inequality. Okay, let's do. In order to do that, first we need to know what is the definition of absolute value. That's right. It's called the distance. Distance from the zero. Because absolute value is a physical distance. For example, if we have absolute, this 2 is a 2, negative 2 is a 2, right? That means inside of x, left 2. And if we positive number, it's just still 2. 1, 2. So the both outcomes are same. So because that is a physical distance, either we go to the left or right. So same reason. If I have x equal to 2, that means I have a choice of this x. I have a choice of either 2 or negative 2. So it allows both direction distance. Both directions answer is a outcome will be 2. That is the absolute value, is a definition and a character. So, alright, since we know prior knowledge about what absolute value is, now we are going to solve this one. So, inside of absolute value has 2 choices. One is x plus 6 is 2x. That's one. Or we have x plus 6 is negative 2x. Okay, so we have 2 choices. And now we can solve this problem as a linear. So I am subtracting x. Of course, you can subtract the 6 too, right? But I do not like to deal with a negative number. So this straight out tells me x equal to 6. And this one, I don't want to move this way, so, okay, let's do this way. So that means you added 2x to both sides. That means 3x. And you subtract 6 from the both sides. That gives you negative 6. So x equals to negative 2. So I do have a 2 answer choice. But one thing that you have to be careful with the absolute value equation is that it's not, we need to check. Okay, we need to check after we found the 2 solutions. So let's put when x is a 6, because that's the answer we got it, right? So absolute value of x we substitute, that gives me 2 times of 6. So this gives me 12. And is that correct? Yes, it is correct. So it's 12. So the answer we found, x equals to 6, that is valid. It's a valid number. And now when x is a negative 2, let's look at it. We put it back. Negative 2 plus 6. I substituted with the x, right? Equals 2 times the negative 2. Is that correct? Let's see. This is a 4. And this is negative 4. We definitely know this is not true. So even though we found the answer through the proper process, we knew x equals negative 2 is not the answer. So right here, answers that appears to be solution, right? We had x equal to 6 and x equals to negative 2. Yeah, there's no problem in the process of finding this one number. But when we check it, one of the answer was not. They emerge through the process of solving an equation, but they are not a valid solution. It's called extraneous solutions. Okay, even though we find the problem answer, but that is not the answer. So we can solve this problem algebraically, just like the way we did it right now. But there's a graph right here. So I am using graph right here. This graph the absolute value is x plus 6. And the other side graph is 2x. As you see right here, 2 points are meet at one point. The two graphs are meet at one point, whereas 6 and 12. So we are looking for x value. We are looking for x value. So x equal to 6. Let's look. There's no two graph does not meet. What I mean by two graph means that I put that in y equal to absolute value of 6 left side as a one graph. And then the other graph, I put it in 2x. So this is a one graph and this is a two graph, just like a system of equation. And then when two graphs are intersect one point or at 2 point, we call that is answer. Okay. So again, in order to find the absolute value of function, we always have to consider two options. So for example, let's do that. I'm going to do one example, okay, right here. Let's find this problem. You remember, order of operation is a PEMDAS, right? Order of operation was a PEMDAS. So this is the order we have to solve, all the questions. Just for example, if we have a 2 plus 3 square minus 6, we have to do parentheses first, and then this one first, and then this will be the last. When we try to find the x value or unknown variable, we go backward. Okay, we go backward. So I will subtract -4 because that is a subtraction. There's a multiplication here too, but that's not how we go. We know that x equals 10. We need to remove this one. We need to make it a 1. So we do multiply by 3 over 2. Both sides multiply by 3 over 2. Denominator, numerator, numerator, denominator. So now I have absolute value of, am I doing right? 15. I think I'm doing something wrong. Yes, I did something wrong. I did not subtract it, didn't I? Okay, I'm sorry. So this was a 6. 6 times 3 over 2. That gives me 9. Okay, multiply 9. So now we need to think. X could be positive 9. X could be negative 9. So if I do have a longer number line right here. Longer number 9, negative 9. So I have answer either 9 or, 9 or negative 9. Okay. We found it algebraically. And graph. If you draw the graph, one graph has to be 2/3 of absolute value plus 4 equals 10. That's one graph. One more graph will be y equals to 10. Oop, what am I doing? I think I'm tired. 10. Okay. So we have a one graph on the left side, one graph on the right side. I made it. Look, right there. So I have a 2/3 of this graph and this graph, right? Oh, my graph is not correct. Let me see. That's not correct. Was x. Okay, the x. And then, I'm sorry, let me see. And then, space, and then, plus 4. 4. Alright, here we go. Now we got the right graph. So look. Right here, 9, right here, 9, right? 9, I didn't do it right. Okay, 9. There's x value 1, 9, and then there's a x value negative 9. So these two graphs are meet at 2 points. So we have a two valid solution. Okay. So you need to know how to use a calculator to find that x value, and then you need to know how to find it algebraically. Okay. All the rules are same. I am going through. If we have a absolute value of ax plus b, the variables are here and the variables are here. Rule does not change. same thing. Inverse of a PEMDAS, we divide by 6 both sides. So absolute value c minus 3 equal to 2c. This inside absolute value have two choices, either positive or negative. So c minus 3 could be 2c, or c minus 3 could be negative 2c. Okay, so we subtract c both sides. That gives me negative 3 equals to c. That's one answer. And this one, negative c, negative 3 equals to negative 3c. So c could be 1. We have two answer choices. So I like to do check. When c is negative 3, that means 6 times negative 3 minus 3, that has to be equals to 12 times negative 3. So 6 times negative 6 has to be equals to negative 36. But this one will be 6 times 6 is not same as negative 36. So this value is extraneous solution. Even though we find it correctly, this is not the value, because when we plug it back in, it was not a right answer. So I'm not doing a checking, but that should be the right answer. Okay. Alright, and this one. I'm gonna try this one. Subtract 6. Okay, we always do this one first. So absolute value 3n minus 2 should be n minus 6. And again, this could be either plus or minus, right? So that gives me 3n minus 2 could be n minus 6. Or 3n minus 2 could be negative n minus 6. Okay? Alright, let me go back. So this one has a plus and this one has a minus. So let's do 3n minus 2 could be n minus 6, or 3n minus 3n minus 2 could be negative n minus 6, right? So when we subtract the n both sides, subtract the n both sides, and add 2 both sides, I'm doing this everything same time. 2n equals to negative 4. So n equals to negative 2. We got one answer. And the next one, 3n minus 2, there is an invisible one that you have to multiply. It goes to negative n plus 6. So we added n both sides and added 2 both sides. Again, I'm doing everything once. So 4n equals to 8. So n equals to 2. So we got the both answer. Now we need to check. Let's check. When you check when n is 2, we know 3 times of 2, 3 times 2 minus 2 has to be equals to 2. So 6 minus 4, I'm sorry, as I did in my head and I was calculating. So 6 minus 2 gives you 4 plus 10. That is not equals to 2. So when n is 2, that's not the answer. So, sorry. And the next one, if n is 2, let's check. When n is a negative 2, we plug it in. 3 times negative 2 minus 2 plus 6, it has to be equal to negative 2 because n was negative 2. But that is not the answer. So in this case, this one has no solution. Right. A for student, I need to retell you because there's no solution on this one, okay? Alright.